Hi, a new cover is on its way, and today I thought I would try a talking video where I would talk with you about songwriting. My name is Siberia, and all of my 93, maybe 94 by now subscribers know me as a cover singer. Perhaps only 10 out of them, who are my real friends, know that I'm also a songwriter. By no means am I going to compare myself to big songwriters like Sia or rock bands who write their songs on their own, who write hits. But I do think that my songs are good enough and worth being heard for you to make your own opinion of them. I'm going to give you links somewhere around here or here, maybe in the description, which you can follow to listen to my songs and decide whether I am the person who can give you any sort of advice on that topic. I do hope that you're going to find it useful. Being a songwriter myself, I sometimes look for new methods of writing songs, and honestly, I don't think I've ever found anything that was really useful for me. The most general advice would be write a harmony or write a melody or start with lyrics. But then the question is, how do I start writing lyrics? How do I find the right harmony? Where does the melody come from? How do I actually create something out of nothing? There are so many things that you can find on the internet if you Google how to start drawing or how to start taking better pictures. But then if you Google how to write a song, everything is pretty basic. Surely there is no unique recipe that I'm going to give you. Songwriting is not like that. But there are some tricks which you can use to make a song, let's say, happen a little faster and easier and better, hopefully. Number one, which I put onto my list, is focus. If you're not able to come up with a song while showering, driving, or frying an egg, like me, there is nothing wrong with you. You might simply need to be more concentrated on the task that you do, so just put everything disturbing out of your sight, surround yourself with silence, and focus on songwriting solely. Creating songs in shower might sound cool, but it's not for everyone. Number two is give yourself some extra background. Each songwriter starts differently. I usually start with creating harmony or melody using some basic instruments to create the mood. It can be a bass line or a pad or a key like piano or bells. I must say though that I do not write acoustic songs, which I used to do earlier, but that's not how I'm working at the moment. I usually work in my sequencer. I just go through an instrument rack playing random melodies and record whatever record is a noun. Record is a verb, so I record. Jeez. Record whatever sounds good enough to my ear. I don't always end up with a nice background for a song, but it helps me a lot more with setting a mood for it, more than just a guitar, for example, or a piano. Gives your mind more context to work with, so try it out. Number three is kind of a question, and it is, who do you want to talk to? This is something that boosts my emotional state and creativity better than anything else. Depending on what kind of algorithm is more suitable for you, you can do it earlier. I usually do it when I have a background done. Think of what kind of message is going to sound stronger surrounded by the musical environment that you've created and who you want to hear this message. Is it a crowd of your friends, your boss, your ex, an idol, your crush, someone you like, or maybe someone you hate? And start communicating. Imagine that they or he or she are right there in front of you, and just say whatever you have on my mind. On your mind. You will also feel a lot better after you've expressed yourself out loud. Believe me, this is psychology. Number four is let it flow. There is one principle that I use that makes me understand that I'm doing it right. I usually put down several ideas in 2 or 3 lines for a start and develop all of them, giving each one a try. Interestingly enough, that was a difficult word to pronounce, Do I not always end up with the one that I liked the most at the beginning? I choose what seems to float out of me. If you feel like your melody or lyrics seem to be hard to get the song going, your listener might feel the same thing. Let it kind of take over you and lead you by itself. Number 5 is get it going. Might sound as pretty much the same thing as number 4, but it's different. Even if you started off pretty well, you might get stuck right in the middle or even towards the end of it. It sometimes happened to me when I only needed to write one last line, so yeah. To find the tune or the word which would give me the kick that I need in a situation like that, I pick several songs of the same mood or subject. They can sound different, but it doesn't matter. You need a reference, and you don't actually have to start with it, because sometimes when you find something you want to do, when you find a song which you like and you want to write something similar to it, like that, doesn't always end up quite well. So it's better to start writing a song, then understand what the song is going to be like, and then find a reference for yourself to be able to finish it. For me, it is easier to find some sort of reference in the middle of the road. As for making songs referring to something at the very beginning, that's a whole different story. I might talk about it in a different video. So you found the reference songs, you can listen to take a notice of music techniques or melodies or words which you like, and then play around with them so that it transforms into something that is going to help you finish your piece but not sound completely the same. Number 6, take a break. I probably need one. My throat is... There are 2 points left, by the way. At some point, your brain and ears, when you talk about music especially, start getting tired of the creating process, and this is where a break is really recommended. Although I myself sometimes keep on going, at least until I feel like one of the stages, be it melody writing or lyrics writing or whatever else, is kind of finished. I know I'd have to sleep on the song. Does anyone say it? Before I understand that it is actually good and I can continue working on it. If altogether you feel like your creation sounds decent, write down all of the ideas of what you think should be improved in this piece and start polishing it after the break. If you're not happy with the result of your labor, take a deep breath. You have to let it go. That's so difficult. Depending on how bad I feel my song is, I may either delete it completely or put it away for a while to make it reveal its potential, probably later. Something's still going to trash. If I do feel like it is too good to be just forgotten, I take a longer break and then get back to it. Creativity takes as long as it takes. There is no rush about it. Number 7, the last one on this list, details. When you know that your piece is finished generally, check it for details. It's exactly what makes your song sound different and memorable. Even if your listener cannot really distinguish what it is that he or she hears in your song, their mind will. You know it yourself, don't you? There is something about the song, you usually say. More trained audience will point your ticks out and make them their favorites. Can you hear that beat, hear that sound, notes in the voice? This pause make the song breathtaking. There has to be something special. It can be something very small, stroke of color, call it whatever you will, but it will make your story stand out. Again, if you are out of ideas, use reference songs. Just one thing here, don't overcomplicate. What I mean is that it still has to sound simple and understandable no matter how complex the work is. Make it easier for your listener to enjoy the song, they will appreciate it. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching it to the end. Leave a like for me to know that this information is needed so that I think of how else I could be of help. Also, find me on other social media. I will leave links in the description. And in case you feel like my soulmate, welcome to the club. And see you all next time. Bye. And all of those, choose the mood, stick to the topic, make it memorable. Memorable. Look here, Bo. Look here, Bo. Bo.